I'm back. As you all know, my name is Tulumala. Yesterday I did a short introduction on why I'm doing what I'm doing. I told you about the need to look at spiritual care in a time like this. I know a number of people are dealing with different things that has to do with their spirituality and what have you, and that's why I'm coming live on Facebook to talk about spirituality and spiritual care at a time as this. So I want to welcome everyone. If you're connecting with us on Facebook, on YouTube, once again, my name is Tolu Mala. That's why I'm here today to just talk to us about spiritual wellness and spiritual care at this time. So people of God, for everyone listening, let me just say that if you're listening and you're watching me, this is a time you need to pay attention to your spiritual wellness. And like give some few clarifications yesterday on why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be saying making some clarifications again before I continue, and then let us know how this session of spiritual care and paying attention to our spiritual health will be. Now, I want to say again that the reason why I feel this is important at this time is because of some of the spiritual issues I know people are dealing with at such a time as this. I know a lot of things people are dealing with: loneliness, with depression, with fear, and what have you, anxiety, and a number of spiritual issues, that and many people are asking questions. What is going on? Is this the end of the world? What will life look like after COVID-19? What is life looking? People are also asking questions, not just about the future. I'm talking about things in the present now. And people are asking questions. What does life look like now? Some people are talking about the fact that life is somehow meaningless to them. They don't find any meaning, with life because of all that is going on at this time. And it's true, and it's it happens. A lot of things are happening, and I know all these things are there. So, but I want to make a few clarifications just for us to know why I'm doing what I'm doing again. Let me say clearly that this is not a therapy session. So what I'm doing now, it might be therapeutic, but it's not a therapy session. So if you are seeing a psychologist, you are seeing any form of psychologist, maybe a clinical psychologist or what have you, for any counseling, this session does not replace your psychological counseling sessions and what have you. If you are seeing a counselor, this session is not a session of therapy. What I'm doing is therapeutic, but this is not a therapy session. I also want to do a disclaimer here that I'm not speaking on behalf of any health organization. I'm not representing any organization. I'm not representing the views of anyone, but these are my own views. What I believe is true for me, not just what is true for me, what is happening all over, in our environment, what we see going on all over the world, and how people can harness the resources within their own theology to support themselves at this time. And one other clarification, I said spiritual care and health, and people will be asking questions. You're talking about spiritual care and health. You are a pastor. You preach different messages, So what is this spiritual care and health all about? I want to say to you that, in the Western world, which I find myself now, spirituality, the concept of spirituality is not the same. The way the Western world sees spirituality is not the same way that Africans or Asians see spirituality. And I know that difference is crystal clear. I see that from time to time, and I know that very well. From my 3 years of studying spirituality and being in clinical pastoral education here, or working with people of different background, I know that spirituality to an African man, to an Asian, is different from what spirituality means to a typical American or a Canadian. So in this part of the world, there's a distinction between spirituality and religiosity. I know some people who are puritanical will tell me, sometimes we ask, are you a Christian? No, I'm not religious, but I'm a Christian. What's Christianity? Christianity is not a religion. That's not what I'm here to talk about, whether Christianity is a religion, is a kingdom life. I know those things are some of them has to do with our Pentecostal theology, and it's okay and it's good, and there's nothing wrong with all those things. But what I'm saying is, for some people, spirituality is not just about religion. Religion has to do with a set of beliefs, believe in the existence of God. Religion is the way of life. Religion is this. I mean, there are different definitions of religion. But when we talk about spirituality, spirituality is all encompassing. Now, you don't necessarily have to accept all that I'm saying at this time. But for some people, spirituality is not just about religion. Spirituality is about their emotional wellness, about their spiritual wellness, about their mental wellness, about their physical wellness. That is spirituality for some people. So for some people, spirituality is all about what makes them, humans. I have some definitions of spirituality here that I would just like to people define spirituality in different ways, and I feel like it's good for me to make reference to one or two definitions of spirituality, and then just for us to know that when we talk about spirituality, the Bible talks about the spirit of a man. We all know that man is a tripartite being, a spirit. Man has a spirit, we have a soul, and we have a body, and all that. And those things are very true for individuals. The way we understand these things differ. But what is spirituality? Somebody said, I think René Descartes says, spirituality resides in the mental process of man. For some people, spirituality is something that is greater than them. For some people, spirituality is what connects them to what is higher than them. For some people, spirituality is what connects them to God. For some people, spirituality is all about God, all about their faith, all about their beliefs. For some people, spirituality is about their values, the values. And some of these values could be social values, could be cultural values. So spirituality is all encompassing. But one thing I want you to know about spirituality is that spirituality emphasizes how you cope and how you are able to respond and react in different situations. For example, one core spiritual theme that is common in the world now is the theme of fear. There's a lot of people living under fear. People are afraid. People are asking questions. What is going on? What will the world look like? Am I going to escape? And I want to say to you that there are many frontline workers who go to work, who go out on a daily basis. Yes, there's a lockdown, but the lockdown does not prohibit frontline workers from going out to do whatever they need to do because of the basic needs and necessity of the general population, even though there is a lockdown. Many people go to hospitals and they are so afraid. They are terrified. I want to encourage us and say to us, as I talk about spiritual care and spiritual wellness, one of the things that can kill a man, even before death kills that man, is fear. Fear is a spiritual force. But how can you deal with fear at this time? And I'll just give us 2-3 questions as I wrap up this short session. What is fear? Something that makes your heart to tremble. Something that you feel, something that is overwhelming for you. Something that an individual feels is able to overcome him or her. Fear is all over. People are afraid. My faith, the Bible says, the righteous is as bold as a lion. So I can say the opposite of fear is courage and boldness. But why are so many people afraid at this time? Because of what is going on. I'll say 2 things to us before I wrap up this session. One of the things that can bring fear is what you listen to at this time. And as I said, what you listen to, and I must also say who you listen to at this time. A lot of people listen to different things at this time. They are hearing this news, they are reading this report. It's so terrible now because of social media. On my phone, I know I receive lots of messages in the different groups. I belong to different groups on WhatsApp, and people forward different junks messages, so many junks and messages. Oh, someone said this. Oh, this doctor said this in China. This doctor said this in India. This is how to treat coronavirus. This doctor said this. Oh, this is one special report from somewhere. Beloved of the Lord, people, for everyone listening, there's a lot of fear in the atmosphere. How will you deal with your fear? I want to allay your fears. I want to assuage your fears by some of the things I'll be saying. That's why I said it's therapeutic but not a therapy session. Check what you listen to, what you read at this time. You don't have to listen to all the news. I remember I was talking to an healthcare professional, and she said to me, you know what, Simon, one of the things I do at this time is that I just read one update every evening, and that is all. Once I read a very short update on what is going on and what are the updates, the precautions she needs to adhere to, the cautions she needs to watch out for, guidelines and what have you, and that's just all. Every other news that, 5 people have died, 10 people have died, these are the number of infections, these are the number of cases. The more you listen to some of these things, the more it overwhelms you. Even when you want to pray, you might be praying out of fear. You are relating with your children, you are relating out of fear. You are relating with your partner, you are relating with your wife, you are relating with your friends, in your community, you are relating out of fear. Why? Because of what you have read. Because of what you have heard. Because of what you have seen on the news. And because of who you are listening to. I want to encourage you. One of the things that can help us to promote spiritual and emotional wellness, spiritual, emotional, and mental wellness at this time is to check, is to sieve, is to check what you listen to, sieve what you listen to, sieve who you are listening to. You don't have to listen to all the news. Particularly in this part of the world, and I know it happens in different parts of the world, they keep repeating the same news over and over again, and it's a psychology in media world. I'm not a media specialist, but I know that what you keep listening to over and over, when you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again, there's a way that thing unconsciously enters into you. It settles into you. There's a way you internalize those things. I think that's the psychological word. And when you internalize those things, they sit with you. They sit in your thoughts. They sit in your mind. You begin to think about them. They begin to becloud your imagination, your thinking, and what have you. And when there's so much, when you have internalized so many of these negative stories, theories, and what have you, that is flying all over in the news and all over, there's a way it begins to affect the way you think. It affects what you are seeing. It affects your interpretation. It affects your responses to things. I want to encourage you as I wrap up this session within the next 1 minute. I want to encourage you, people of God. Don't be overcome by fear. Different stories are flying about. I want you to have positive emotions. One of the ways you can help yourself, a spiritual care practice, a spiritual practice that can help you to overcome fear, is to not to think about it, but to ask the Holy Spirit to help you, if that is a spiritual practice for you, or to listen to music. Engage your mind with something else. Don't engage your mind with all the reports going about, flying about, all that is being said. Oh, this person said this and all that. No, it's okay. You can listen to the news, and I'm not saying you should not listen to it. Listen to the news, but don't listen to it over and over again such that you internalize everything, and then you are terrified, you're unable to sleep, it gives you nightmare and what have you. Your spiritual, your mental, and your emotional wellness is important at a time like this. It's because it's going to affect your relationship with your family, with your children, with your wife, with your husband, and with whoever. Do something else. Don't listen to all this, and check the news you listen to, check who you listen to, and the question again is, why are you listening to what you are listening to? Is it important to you? Is it helpful to you? Is it life-giving for you or life-limiting? Many things we listen to is life-limiting instead of life-giving. I have to stop now. So, people of God, once again, my name is Simon Basmala. This is spiritual care and spiritual health to support us at this time for a good mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness, so that we are able to focus and we avoid every form of depression and what have you. I encourage you, check what you listen to, check why you are listening to it, and check who you are listening to. Don't read all the news flying about in WhatsApp group. Read something just to keep yourself abreast with what is happening in the day, and that's okay. You can pick books and read at this time. And use this time to read different books. Read different books. Gain new skills. This is what I will leave with you today. Thank you for listening. I want to encourage you to share this video with people. I know in the next 3 hours I'll be coming live again. You know, we have a monthly prayer meeting that we're going to stream live. Yes, in the next 3 hours I'll be coming live again. 3 of us will be ministering. Myself, Dr. Etimi Deroyin, and Bro Bolajuko will be ministering. You know, we'll be our monthly prayer meeting is going to be streaming live. That's a spiritual resource that can help you at this time. So, beloved of God, share this video. You can like my Facebook page, Tulumala, and you can also like my YouTube channel, Simon Mala. Till I come again, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to come again and talk about one other spiritual theme. And then, depending on how I'm able to manage my time, I'm going to come again to tell you about another spiritual thing and how to, help yourself and manage it. But please take note. Don't be overcome by fear at this time. I want you to be bold and courageous. Check what you listen to so that you don't internalize all these things and they depress you. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Bye.